Picture this. You wake up to find out that the very people supposed to protect justice are now being questioned themselves. That's exactly what's happening in India right now. Parliament is moving ahead with something very rare, trying to remove a sitting High Court judge, Justice Yashwant Varma, after cash was reportedly found at his home. This doesn't happen often. In fact, it's so rare that most Indians have never seen anything like this before. And here's why you should care, even if you've never been to a court in your life. When judges, the people who decide what's right and wrong in our legal system, face questions about their own conduct, it shakes everyone's trust. Think about it. If you can't trust the person wearing the black robe to be fair, who can you trust? This affects everyone, from the lawyer fighting a case to the ordinary person seeking justice. But this story matters beyond India too. Around the world, countries are watching. When the world's largest democracy puts its own judicial system under the microscope, it sends a message. The question is, what kind of message? Let's get to the facts. What actually happened? On March 14, 2025, there was a fire at Justice Yashwant Varma's official residence in Delhi. When firefighters rushed to put out the flames, they found something unexpected: sacks of cash. A lot of it was burned or partially burned, but there was no clear explanation for why it was there. Justice Varma said he had no idea where the money came from. He denied any wrongdoing and claimed neither he nor his staff knew anything about it. But that wasn't the end of it. The Chief Justice of India, Sanjiv Khanna, acted fast. He immediately suspended Justice Varma from his duties. No more hearing cases, no more judicial work. Then came the investigation. A team of 3 senior judges was formed to look into what happened. After nearly 2 months of investigation, the committee came back with their findings. They said there was strong evidence that suggested misconduct. Their recommendation? Justice Varma should be removed from his position. But Justice Varma refused to quit. Instead, he took his case to the Supreme Court, challenging the committee's findings. He called the whole process unfair and claimed it was a conspiracy against him. That brings us to yesterday, July 21st, 2025. Over 200 members of parliament signed papers to start the impeachment process. This included opposition leaders like Rahul Gandhi and government figures like Anurag Thakur. The numbers were clear: way more than the minimum required by the Constitution. So what does all this mean? Let's dig deeper. First, think about India's reputation. We're talking about potentially the first sitting judge in independent India to be impeached. That's huge. If it happens, it changes how people see our courts, both here in India and around the world. Now here's where it gets interesting politically. You have politicians, people who are often criticized for interfering with courts, now acting as judges of judicial behavior. It's ironic, isn't it? The opposition parties see this as a chance to show they care about clean governance. The government doesn't want to look like it's protecting corrupt judges. But here's the catch. If this process looks like a political witch hunt, it could backfire on everyone. Let's talk about the bigger picture. Should a judge be removed based on circumstantial evidence? The investigation committee found what they called strong inferential evidence, but that's not the same as direct proof. Justice Varma argues the process itself is flawed. He says he's being treated as guilty until proven innocent, which goes against basic principles of justice. Here's another problem. Even if there was criminal activity, it's almost impossible to investigate properly. Why? Because of legal precedents that protect sitting judges from criminal cases. So we have this weird situation where the most serious misconduct might never face proper criminal investigation. The world is watching this closely. Can India balance transparency with judicial independence? Are we setting a good example of accountability, or are we showing the cracks in our system? But the big questions remain. Will removing a judge restore people's faith in the system, or will it make people think our courts are just another political playground? And if Justice Varma is removed, what happens to the next judge who faces similar allegations? As Parliament debates and committees meet, India faces a simple but profound question. Can we prove that no one, not even judges, is above the law? Or are we about to turn our courts into another political battlefield? Here's what we know for sure. Whatever happens next, whether Justice Varma gets removed or somehow survives this process, it's going to change how India thinks about judicial accountability. The whole world is watching to see if we can clean house without tearing down the house itself. This isn't just about one judge anymore. It's about whether the world's largest democracy can hold its most powerful institutions accountable while keeping them independent. That's not an easy balance to strike. We'll keep following this story and asking the tough questions, because in the end, this trial isn't just about Justice Varma, it's about justice itself.